What's up guys, my name's Alec and this is my new cheap Land Cruiser 90 Prado. This 90 series Land Cruiser Prado was bought actually by a very close friend of mine that plans to go overlanding with us. And after looking for VW's Tuaregs in Romania to buy them for an overlanding project and not being happy with what he saw, he decided to bite the bullet and buy a Land Cruiser Prado sight unseen from Germany, one of the cheapest ones available online. And it was kind of a risk, but going over there and checking it out wasn't really worth it. And he just said after the videos he received that might as well just get it and then see what is bad and what is not when it gets here. And of course, how you would expect, there are problems with it. Even though the car is dirty, it is actually in a pretty good shape body wise. It has some very little rust spots, but nothing too crazy for a Toyota of this age. The underbody is also fairly clean with no major rust, which is actually impressive, but it has been repainted, so we don't know how much rust there was before, how good it was cleaned before painting, but it doesn't seem too bad. Interesting fact, however, is the fact that this car only had one owner before us, which is one thing that you like to hear when buying a used car. Option-wise, it has everything you pretty much need, especially for an overlanding build. It has electrical windows. I like the fact that it has these cushioned seats, which are better for when you go off-roading because they don't heat up as much and they're not that hard to maintain as leather. Also, they're manually adjusted, which means less things to go wrong. And this is the inside view of it. Now, it has electric mirrors. The retract button doesn't work. Not too bad. It has a rear diff lock, which I didn't know that Prados had this stock. I know that the 100 Land Cruisers had them up until 2001. But it doesn't work when you turn it on. It just keeps blinking, and I will show you that in a minute. It has these cool gauges. Let me turn them on. Gauges that when you press, I don't know how good you can see, but you can see the temperature. You can see a barometer, an altimeter. I don't know how calibrated they are, average speed, a timer, but they're pretty cool. I don't know if the pitch roll one functions, and I'm pretty sure the compass doesn't work. However, you then have the classic Toyota electric antenna, which also doesn't work, sadly. It has AC, working AC, which is a huge plus and something you wouldn't expect when buying a cheap car sight unseen. It has a transfer case, which I will get to that in a second. And that's pretty much it for the options. In the rear, you still have rear heat, and I don't like the fact that it doesn't have any mats. These now got dirty. It needs a really good clean inside and outside, and some rubber mats for sure. This Prado is equipped with the 3-liter diesel inline 4 engine producing 163 horsepower. It's in a good shape, although it has 370,000 kilometers. That's nothing for these kinds of engines, and I think it will be a great engine for the overlanding trips that we will be doing with it. Now, it starts up great, it revs great, it has some oil leaks, but the shop will have to investigate this and see where it's coming from, along with the other problems that will be checked. But overall, it sounds very good. It's a warm start, not a cold start. course, there's no perfect old car, especially when it comes to a cheap Land Cruiser, and this car has its problems. One of them, which I don't know if you can hear, is this knocking sound. Which is actually the clutch pressure plate, because when the clutch is held in, the sound disappears. Also, there's this suspicious rust repair over here. And speaking about suspicious, somebody had an interesting method of putting this over fender back. Yup. And on this side as well. Also, it has a cracked taillight. But the owner was actually nice enough, and without even telling us, gave us a brand new one. So that's nice. On the inside, well, the door cards are hanging a bit. And it's in a not the cleanest condition. From what I know, the last owner used to carry pine trees with it, so it's not bad. It needs a good clean, as I said. Another problem it has is, as I said, the rear diff, which doesn't want to work. So as you can see, to turn it on, you need to push it, put it back, and it starts blinking, which it's not supposed to. It's supposed to stay lit. What I think the reason for this is that the actuator that is electric is broken, so it doesn't actuate the locking mechanism of the diff. I have this problem on my Land Cruiser 100 as well, and to repair it, you can either put an air actuator or repair or replace the electric actuator. Now, all in all, these problems are not too bad, and that's because I kept the worst one last, which maybe it's not that bad as we might think. I don't know yet what could be the cause, but when you lock the transfer case on this car, which as you can see on this car, the transfer case gets locked manually. Right now it's on high. You can put it in high locked, put it in neutral, and you can put it in low locked. And when you're in low locked or high locked, this means that the transfer case is locked, and when driving straight, it's fine, but when you start turning, the car makes a knocking sound, which I don't know where it's from and how bad it can be. Now, after having watched that recording, I actually think that the CV axles might be bad, but my question is, why do they only make that sound when the transfer case is locked? Why don't they always do it? Because when the transfer case isn't locked, there's absolutely no sound that comes from them. And when the transfer case is locked, you can hear how it sounds. And it sounds even worse in person. It sounds like it's about to snap. Now, although the car has its fair shares of problems, it's in overall a good condition for the price that has been paid for it, which is of 5,500 euros. What do you guys think? Okay, it's dirty inside, it has some problems, but the engine sounds good, and for the overlanding build that we want to make out of it, I think it's the perfect contestant in this price range. Now, what is the plan for this car? Well, we're going to want to put a roof rack on it, put some lights, make a sleeping platform in the back, add a third battery for the auxiliaries, beefier tires, better suspension, of course repair all the problems the car has right now. That would be the first thing to do, along with a filter and oil change, and also a timing belt change. But once the repairs are done and the mods are also done, I think the car will actually be very, very fun and a great addition to our current overlanding fleet. One awesome feature I forgot to mention about this car is the fact that the rear windows open like this, which will be perfect to freshen up when sleeping in the car. This is the first proper drive with it, and it seems to be good. Well, the dashboard seems to shake when you brake. How's the steering?
Perfect. Steering perfect, everything works perfect. The dashboard looks like crazy.
Brake.
It feels like it's got some sound when it brakes, but maybe they didn't brake for a long time.
The brakes slightly vibrate, but the car hasn't been driven in a very long time, so maybe they're just rusty. Any LC90 owner out there, is there a way to fix this dash better, because it seems to be vibrating when going over stronger bumps or when braking? The incline meter seems to work. If I pull left on the steering wheel, you can see how it shows how the car inclines. If you like Land Cruisers, if you like overlanding and want to follow this build, I will make as many videos as I can on it with everything that will be done, and will also make videos from the overlanding trips. Then don't hesitate to subscribe and leave a like. It helps me a lot. Also comment, do you think this car was worth it? What would you do with it? I'm Alec, and I'll see you next time.